Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GLORIO Chat, the best anime podcast on the internet. It's season preview time again. We are here once more, going into the fall 2025 season. A lot of big name returning shows coming in this season, but I'm not terribly excited about any of those. Just as a teaser. What I'm really excited about, it's time.
It's time. I think that it's worth noting there were a lot of high-profile shows that were said to be airing in 2025, and many of them got pushed to 2026.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but that is true.
Witch Atelier, Face Strange Fake,
right?
A couple other ones. Yeah,
I do remember that. But yes. Yes, teaser, we will finally get to have a legitimate reason to talk about Umamusume later.
Undo the seal. It's finally time.
After months of us somehow finding ways to talk about it over the past
I've been holding them back. I can't do it anymore. I can't control it.
So let's we got a lot to talk about, so let's introduce everybody. I'm Gel. And I am joined by Iro.
I'm still here. I'm not dead yet. My cough, my post-COVID cough has improved to the point where I'm comfortable speaking aloud on this podcast again.
Yes, you do. You sound good, so that is good. Yet another attempt at your life, but you're still here with us. Yeah, and we're joined by G.
Folks, they're gonna call September 16th. The Miracle at the Gemini Cup. You're listening to a grade A Gemini Cup finals winner right here, baby.
Oh, you won in grade A. Wow.
Yeah, I got grade A, baby.
I had a very disappointing by a nose loss. My gold ship, I even screenshotted it from the replay.
I saw it.
It was like,
it's heartbreaking, man.
Literally a nose off losing to Oguri Cap, but I'll get him next time.
Somehow my gold ship found it in her to lock in and pull off a miracle despite having a sub 30% win rate that entire event. So
yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. I was very disappointed in my Narita Taishin's performance overall, but Gold Ship pulled through, as she often does. Yeah, but anyway, more on that later. We are also joined by Artemis.
Hey, it is good to be here. I am here to, as always, bring my impeccable taste, and also, as in the case of Gundam, to play the get off the stage music. If need be,
prepare it for the horses as well, I think.
Yes. So yes, thank you for being on again, and I think is this the second time in a row we had you on the preview podcast? It might be. I'd have to go back and check the tape.
I'm not sure. I do not recall.
Yeah. So all right, well, let's just dive into things here, because we got a lot of things to talk about, and we want to get to the horses. So let's talk about the fall 2025 season, and we can kick things off with some of the returning shows here. And we'll start. I just wanted to acknowledge this, even though I think you guys have not really been watching it. This is supposedly My Hero Academia final season.
Sure. That tracks.
We did actually talk quite a bit about the end of the manga, which I'm assuming if this is the final season, this is what they're getting into.
We'll see. Will My Hero Academia do a final season part 2 scenario?
That is what I'm actually curious about, is that anime has ruined the branding. I can no longer trust a final season that calls itself the final season.
Yeah, thanks Attack on Titan, right?
But it's I don't know if there's much to say here. We have spilled enough ink on our feelings here at the GLORIO chat about My Hero Academia. I think like many a shonen, right? A strong first impression, you know, a lot of heart, a lot of style, and as often happens when a shonen manga goes on too long, it loses basically everything that made it appealing. And
yeah.
So I don't know. To anybody who is still watching My Hero Academia,
I salute your determination? ? Your constitution?
Yeah, I hope you enjoy these events. I hope the spectacle is grand enough to make it all worth it. I think we're good. So
my real question is, what Bones Studio E or whichever internal studio it is, what will be their next project
now
that they've been set free?
Right. What cell will they put Utapon in next? Once My Hero Academia is over.
My Hero Academia Brotherhood.
No, I'm very, I guess I am, look, we don't have to do this into our usual discuss the current state of shonen conversation, but I guess, I would have to look at, like, what are the current hot shonen at the moment.
Right.
Because that would be my safe guess for what Bones would try to jump on next is, like, okay, what's the next, like, decade-long project we can tie our studio to? But
see here, the studio, okay, Bones Studio C, mainly known for Fullmetal Alchemist, Darker Than Black, Soul Eater, or High School Host Club, and My Hero Academia.
So definitely the adaptation studio.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you about 1 year ago.
They also did Captain Earth.
Well, I can tell you about 1 year ago in August 14th, 2024, episode 168 of the GLORIO chat is literally titled "The Ending of My Hero Academia is Bad." That was when the manga ended. So you can go back and check out episode 168 if you want our feelings on the ending of the manga, which we're assuming they're adapting in the anime. I think it wasn't just us on the ending, right? Like, a lot of people did not think the ending was good, right? Am I
would definitely say it was mixed.
That?
Yes,
okay.
I think the ending. I think My Hero Academia does have its shooters out there, but I do think broadly, it definitely an uneven consensus. I think
mixed
at the least, mixed at best. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I guess at least they're wrapping it up. How often does that actually happen in a shonen anime? But
a lot more often these days.
Yeah, I guess times have changed a little bit, but yeah. I mean, this is like the 8th season or something. I don't even know what it is.
Anyway,
yes. Crazy.
Speaking of Shonen Jump, I suppose.
Yes, we can move on. And hey, Spy Family's coming back.
Hooray! I guess. I don't recall what leg of the story this is, other than post boat.
Yeah. If we're being honest, my look, we all love Spy Family, right? Like, it's
yes.
Sure.
I think my last memory is really more the movie than anything that happened in season 2. I'm kind of hard pressed to.
I mean, it's been what year did season 2 finish? Like,
it hasn't been that long, right?
It was in.
Actually,
it was 2023.
Yes, fall 23 show. So it's been
all right. Maybe it's a little longer.
It's been 2 years. Yeah.
God, maybe it's a little longer than I thought then.
I think we say it every time, right? Spy Family is an extremely pleasant show. It's a very enjoyable show, but also it is. It is a show that goes in one ear and out the other, right? Like, it is, it's pleasant, but not. It's not sticky, right? And so, like, right. I feel similar to Iro, where I watched the PV for season 3, and I go, I have no recollection of this place. Like, I recognize a couple of the jokes in the PV. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I remember that chapter. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I have no idea
Right.
Like, maybe I think the way they are angling, we may get some drama this season. Like, this might be the season where they get into Lloyd's backstory.
Oh, sure.
Uh,
That'd be fun.
Yeah, which should be interesting, I think, if nothing else. I think that's a really interesting set of chapters that ties surprisingly well into the Spy Family, like, fake Cold War setup. But I can't even say that confidently. Like, that's how bad my memory is of this stretch of the story, which is, again, not an indictment of Spy Family. It's just more the reality that Spy Family is a very episodic story, right? It's a lot of standalone chapters, a lot of standalone arcs that are not heavily dependent on a linear serial narrative.
Right. They could move stuff around, no problem.
They have totally done that plenty of times already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably won't reach the multi-chapter extended arc about Mr. Elegant. Which
No, that's like season 4 or 5, I think. But I mean, that is also a really excellent flashback sequence. But like, that's there are so many parts of Spy Family where you can tell that Endo really wanted to write a Cold War spy thriller, and then. As we often
write a darker story, right? Like,
yeah, or a much darker story, a much darker story, and his editor, dragged him hell.
Like, no, cut it out! Stop! It's good. Like, leave it.
Yes, exactly. Dragged Spy Family into being a family friendly comedy. But,
yeah, I think it's coming back to me now. Season 2 had the long boat arc, right?
Yes.
I wasn't necessarily a big fan of that, but
you watch the boat arc because you want to watch Yor kill like 100 people, but like,
yeah, I do.
Parts of it were very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And not just the flashy kind of your action parts, but also like some of the comedy was genuinely. Rose to the same heights as parts of Spy Family Season 1 did too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like drags a little, or that's how I recall
it is a little, it is, I do recall feeling like it was a little overly long. But if that's the kind of worst I can say about Spy Family thus far, then that's fine,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just like our warm blanket, our comfort blanket, our safety net, regardless of the quality of the rest of the season. We know Spy Family will be there for us.
I know at least that I can chicken once a week and be okay with something.
Yeah.
Like basically, no matter what happens, no matter what where the plot goes or does not go, I will probably be okay with it.
Yeah. Okay. I probably should have checked in our pre-show discussion whether you guys actually wanted to talk about this, but it seemed notable enough that I should put it on our list. To Your Eternity's coming back again.
Okay.
Did anyone here watch season 2?
I think
did.
Artemis, you did, right?
I watched the whole.
Okay.
I finished it.
Where are they in the plot?
Oh my gosh, it's been longer than Spy Family, so I'm stretching my memory a bit.
All right, Arrow, I have watched the PV for season 3. It's the time skip.
Okay, that's where I figured it would be, but I could not have told you. Yes.
The big time skip.
Yep.
There was. I do remember season 2 leaving off, and then didn't his traveling companion basically grow old and got dementia? And
that was season 1.
That was
season 1.
Oh no!
Sorry, Artemis. That's
okay. I'm gonna have to. Oh no! All right. Well, I will have to go back and figure out what happened in season 2 then.
All right. Yeah.
Season 2.
I watched it. I swear I did.
Season 2 looks like season 2 was like the big war against the Knockers.
The kingdom, right? The war. Yeah. I don't look. I mean,
Ooh, yeah.
To Your Eternity is like at its best, it was responsible for some of the most like emotionally compelling, heart-wrenching storytelling I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't think I could ever have it in me to like ever pay attention to Your Eternity ever again.
Yeah.
I
believe it ended or is about to end.
Yes, in the manga, right?
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say, not to spoil anything, though, again, if you look at any promo material for Season 3, you'll instantly clock to what's going on. But, yeah, Season 3, if it follows the manga, again, I did not watch Season 2, it will be about the world of To Your Eternity, like, millennia later, centuries later, right? Like, it...
broadly catching up to the modern era, let's say. Like,
yes, and it will be about Fushi kind of navigating, that on one hand, the modern era is a lot more peaceful, but it is also a lot more complicated. Modern life is a lot more complicated, and
does he have to get a driver's license at some point? Or
I mean, you joke, but like,
okay,
my main memory of this segment of the manga was I stopped reading it, and then I was like, well, let me go back and check out To Your Eternity, and then I read like 30 chapters at once of To Your Eternity, and I went, I can't believe they spent like 15 chapters on that.
Yeah,
on that part of this.
Again, I mean, Artemis, if you're fully intent on watching Season 3, I'm not going to try to color or tint your perception. I'll just say I think Season 3 will potentially get into some really interesting stuff, but I think it will also be a potentially jarring change of pace and style in some ways. But maybe maybe that's what the story needs to mix it up, right?
I cannot for the life of me remember what happened in Season 2 now, but I do remember watching it. I remember the experience of watching it, if that makes sense. And sure. I do remember being, at times, incredibly frustrated with everything.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm intrigued enough to watch more, and I guess the memories of Season 1 are still visceral enough that they stuck with me however long ago Season 1 was, that I remember being blown away by the premiere episode, and I remember being really like experiencing actual heartache in the finale, and I guess I'm wondering if no matter what mistakes Season 3 may make, whether it can reach those emotional heights, if only occasionally.
Yeah,
I
hope so.
If it's going to be 20 episodes again, I can't guarantee I'll stick all out if it's as frustrating as Season 2 was. But I will check in with it.
Yeah. I also don't, because I stopped watching somewhere in Season 2. I don't even remember, but I just specifically do remember, Artemis, you talking about it and being frustrated with it by the end. Like, so
yeah.
Maybe
temper my expectations if indeed I have any at this point. Yes.
Maybe right now we're all just remembering the good times now that some time has passed. But yeah.
Right.
I guess we'll see what happens with Season 3.
Yeah. Is there in your opinion, for kind of manga readers, because I haven't read it, are there potentially going to be those emotional high points? Were they there in the manga? Or was the manga equally frustrating?
I mostly remember being frustrated at this point in the manga. I think I remember messaging G at some point when I was catching up to the manga at the point, and other than I can't believe they spent X on Y. I was like, there are occasional bits here, but not enough to stem the tide, I guess.
I think there are moments that I think if you've been in it for the long haul, there is like some emotional catharsis in, I think, aspects of Season 3 or what Season 3 will be covering. I think especially after coming off of Season 2, which is like this big, long, like, conflict, there's an element of Season 3 sometimes feels like not a victory lap necessarily, but like Fushi has earned himself a small reward. Like he has earned the right to be happy and be emotionally fulfilled by certain things that happen in season 3. I think it's just I think to like jump from what Eros said, I think it's also just I think season 3 introduces new complications that are frustrating in in ways that are just kind of intrinsic to what To Your Eternity is, I guess. I sometimes feel like maybe
it's not just the anime then that is quote unquote fucking up, so to speak.
No,
I think
in
the source material.
Okay.
Things in the text will be frustrating as well.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to pass this one over to you, Artemis. You mentioned you were watching Campfire Cooking in Another World, which is coming back.
Yeah, it is. So I have good memories of the show. Does that mean it is a good show? No, not really. It's fine. Not that it's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
It is better than the average isekai because it's just focused on this guy cooking with his absurd skill. It's not. There's no kind of weird harem situation going on. There's no like. It's not really a kind of overpowered protagonist because he doesn't. Like, it's not really about him fighting. It's just about him cooking up monster meat, basically. It's...
Is this somewhere in between the fantasy isekai hero guy, but not quite into the, I'm literally running a restaurant it just happens to be isekai monsters showing up to my restaurant because that's a whole subgenre itself.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between those.
Okay.
On a linear scale, I'm not sure where exactly it would fall.
He has a cooking skill, right? Like,
right.
It's got that.
More, I would say it is leaning more towards the kind of gourmet style genre than action or adventure or power trip kind of thing.
Right.
I will say that it is a show that I used to watch at lunchtime while eating. So, like, just as a quick 20-minute break between, for work, basically. Okay. So, it's if you haven't watched season 1, there's no particular reason to watch season 2 or to try and catch up. And if you don't like isekai at all, like just under any capacity, then it's not going to change for you. Like, it's not going to break any crazy isekai barriers or anything like that. But if you just want something chill to do with food that happens to be kind of isekai fantasy, then sure. It's also MAPPA, so it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think I would have known it was MAPPA to start with if I hadn't already been aware of it. But it does look a lot better than just the average isekai slop that you'll see, 10 of every season kind of thing. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we've had this has existed long enough where it's definitely a thing where there is a division between the isekai trash power fantasy stuff and then the chill I'm hanging out in another world genre, right? So this is
this is definitely more on the chill side.
That camp, right? And I've certainly watched plenty of those in my time.
Sure.
Right. So, yeah. I guess it's the feel good show that you'll be watching if you don't like Spy Family kind of thing, and you that's just not your vibe, but you still want something kind of chill and feel good. Then this is kind of the next bet probably for the season.
Yeah.
I've not forgiven the anime industry for making a season 2 of Restaurant to Another World, but not Izakaya Nobu, which I
better one,
the like way better one. Yeah,
yeah. I did watch at least the first season of Restaurant in Another World, and it was like, I think I just got bored of it by the end. But yes, that's literally like that. That title is now just that subgenre, right?
Izakaya Nobu had the wacky live action segments because it was in the lead up to the Tokyo Olympics. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do remember that. That was fun. Okay. Well, I mention this show every time we get to new season, not because I care or that anybody watching it. I just want to remind everybody how old we are. Kingdom season 6 is starting, and if anybody doesn't know, our very first impressions post out the GLORIO blog back in July 2012, 13 years ago, was the first season of Kingdom, the first episode of the first season. So
they've gone 2D for a while now, right?
Yeah, I think a season or two ago they finally came back to 2D, and it looks better.
Yeah. It's so funny that like Kingdom, like, because so the infamous thing about Kingdom, right, is Kingdom adaptation. Stop me if you heard this one before. Kingdom is the adaptation of an iconic long-running seinen series about the Warring States period in China.
Yep.
To be clear, not the
Sengoku
Three
period.
Kingdoms,
Okay,
right. or that. Yes,
yes.
A different period in Chinese history in which they were all killing each other. But the first few seasons were an all CG affair, and this was in 2013, right? So
2012 it started.
12, so pretty rough looking, right?
Yeah.
But it is part of the GLORIO DNA at this point.
The is pre Beastars era CG.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, we don't really care about the show that much.
No.
But
I mean, I sometimes think about reading it. Right?
Yeah.
It feels like one I should get to, right? Because, like, look, man, if I'm a Vinland Saga fan,
the long running seinen holdouts.
Yeah, exactly. I need to finish that, and actually, I don't know how many other long-running seinen I have left that I haven't read already, so maybe it might be one of the last ones.
I always remember in a Dragon Pilot, the gag was like one of the characters always stayed holed up in her room, and they had to lure her out of the room with early previews of the next Kingdom chapter.
God.
Remember Dragon Pilot?
Yeah.
Anyway, season 6. So that's like one every 2 years for that long.
Yeah, they're still going. You know,
I'm reading here. It's had 142 episodes.
Not a lot of anime get to make it that far. So
I mean, I'm watching this PV and it doesn't look amazing, but hey,
it looks better than that first episode I watched 13 years ago.
Well, also not only that, but I mean, it's gotten more than Berserk has ever gotten. So,
oof. Yeah. All right.
Looks like they've got Sawano on music these days.
Oh yeah, Sawano's been doing the soundtrack for Kingdom for a bit now. It's
gotcha.
Very on brand.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move along to some new shows, and we'll start with this is the PA Works 25th anniversary series.
Entitled, okay.
Dusk Beyond the End of the World is the English title. And this show dares to ask, what if you fell in love with a robot?
Oh. Never been asked before.
Not
once in the history of anime.
Jel, if that's a question you need answered, I have some really upsetting subreddits to show you.
So there's a lot going on. I've pieced together, and I see the official description has been changed, and it's a lot more I don't know, maybe PR friendly than what I read previously. But, from what I pieced together from various sources, and this is an original series, of course, because it's like their 25th anniversary project, right? There's some kind of situation. It's not clear to me whether this is like Earth or some actual like alternate world or something, but the main kid gets killed or gets shot and then gets cryogenically frozen for 200 years, and then when he wakes up, it's like AI or something has destroyed everything. It's like post-apocalyptic. It's interesting if you watch the PV, everything kind of looks vaguely like fantasy worldish, but then people start pulling out guns.
Right, I did see that.
So, that's kind of the vibe they're going for. The previous description that appears to have been washed out by High Dive somewhere said something like, things like, race and gender no longer matter, and there's some like weird new concept of marriage and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, where are we going with this one, folks?
Oh boy, is PA Works? I feel like I think most of us here have like a PA Works show, at least one PA Works show we really like, right? Like whether it's a Shirobako or an Akiba Maid War. Like,
shout out to Sakura Quest.
I think which this director has not done. Just putting that out there. This is not the director of any of those shows.
Yes.
No, and so it's like PA Works can cook. They can
sometimes
is the key word there.
I need to add PA Works shows to my possible tier list a video idea someday. But yes. Yeah, so I don't know if I have a lot of confidence into them handling any of those topics, but this is so to finish the premise, this kid wakes up like 200 years later, and the world apparently has been destroyed or something, and he meets this robot girl that looks just like the girl that he was in love with in school or something like that, and hilarity ensues. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going for exactly on the tone on this one.
Yeah, I watched the PV and it kind of like it kind of felt all over the place, right? It's like, oh, it's going to be about looking at the world after everything collapsed, but also it's going to be like an action series, right? The girl has a freaking railgun like come out of her hand, like it's and I hate to say this, but because Jel, you said this was an anniversary project. Did you say specifically 25th anniversary?
I'm pretty sure it's 25th. Yeah,
that's interesting. Because did you know last year another studio did an original anime to celebrate their 25th anniversary, and it was also about if robots are people. It was this little thing called Metallic Rouge.
I totally wiped that out of my memory until you mentioned it again. God.
Okay, so all I'm saying is place your bets.
Look, I knew, I'm sorry to say it, but I knew what I was betting the moment I knew it was High Dive, because no, just hear me out. It's not just that it's, hear me out. When Crunchyroll is operating on a we will license everything situation, and they apparently choose not to license this, there's a reason. I'm just saying. There's a business reason.
I will say, I don't know if Crunchyroll is operating on that anymore because
they have got their fucking monopoly almost.
No, they're getting their ass kicked by Amazon.
Dominance. Oh yeah.
They're getting their ass kicked by Amazon and Netflix right now, and
but also Amazon and Netflix are not anime only. Like they don't. No one is like, oh, Netflix, the anime specialty site. Like no.
I don't. To your point, Artemis, I don't think Amazon or Netflix was breaking down the door to license this, right?
No, me neither.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, now based on that information, just straight up, do you think this will be better or worse than Metallic Rouge?
Okay. I'm going to say better strictly because the bar is deep in the depths of hell.
I was gonna say the same
Metallic Rouge sucked, except for when it spiked high when Kimiko Ueno was doing scripts,
right? Or the first episode, basically.
This will probably.
The OP.
Go ahead, Artemis. Sorry. Yeah.
The OP was good.
Yeah, the Metallic Rouge OP is so good.
Yeah, that was good.
If this is an average passable PA Works show, it'll be infinitely better than that show. So that's. That's my bet. But will it be like actually good? I'm going to say no.
I think it'll be slop. I think it'll be generic.
Yeah.
Slop.
I'm leaning a lot more toward that direction. But, it's an interesting project. I guess kind of similar to that on this next one. I've mostly added this because it's a fascinating story, and maybe it will be okay or good or something, I don't know, but the show that I added here is Let's Play. It is a story about a woman who is a game designer, and she puts out her first game, and some streamer hates it, which tanks her game, and then somehow they meet and fall in love or something, right? Romantic comedy. When I was looking this up on anychart.net, I was like kind of going through what I normally do, you know, who made it and everything. I was like, wait a minute, that's a white woman.
Yes.
White woman spotted.
You smashed the molly guard.
This is actually a webtoon comic.
Oh boy.
Written by an American woman.
I should
in
be
English.
nicer.
It's apparently quite popular. We're so disconnected from the webtoon world that I don't know what's going on, but apparently it is very popular. And I had to look more into this. Apparently she actually was like some kind of like IT manager or something. She has a degree in computer science, so she actually knows like what she's talking about in the subject matter. And then she decided to write a comic, then put it on webtoon, and it got super popular and has now come full circle into an anime, which is a pretty fascinating story.
Right. Like, here's the thing. The more I read up on this, the more I was like, this is... Look, I'm not going to watch this shit, man. But, like, it's interesting, right? Because the first they picked up on was like...
I mean... The anime looked like it might be okay, but like I don't know.
Right. Well, I was reading the premise, and it takes place
very
in LA.
webtoon. Yeah.
Like,
oh my goodness.
You know, the main characters are named
the names.
Sam Young and Charles Jones.
Okay, that's the other really funny thing to me, because apparently this is like an American person writing this, and they still gave them very anime American names.
Yeah.
Which is like really Link Hudson and Angela O'Neill.
Oh my god!
Like that. That has to be like intentional, right? Like,
right?
No
it's
way.
it's like an American looped back into writing fake anime America. Like that's kind of hilarious. Actually,
that's kind of fascinating to me. But yes. There's a character named Martial Law. Come on, you can't.
Yeah, okay. You know what? The Tekken character. You know,
Sammo Hung.
Right. You know, it's like I don't know. Like I mean, I think it's so interesting to me, right? That like an American writer was deeply inspired by, if it's a webtoon, so then Korean, cartooning, which itself is inspired by Japanese comics, is now itself getting an adaptation into an anime. Like it's
they got big names. I mean, it's starring Kana Hanazawa and Yuichi Nakamura. I mean, like
like it's kind of cool or fascinating at least, right? Like it's I don't know what to make of it.
The director on this is Daiki Tomiyasu, who spent many years on Inazuma 11, but also was the main director on Pokemon Sun and Moon. The good Pokemon season.
Right.
Yes.
The PV definitely does not look that like bouncy or loose, so I don't know if I would get your hopes up on that aspect. No. But
yeah, it does look a little stiff. But yeah, it's a very interesting story. I thought it was worth noting that, and you know what? I hope it's good. Maybe I'll check out the first episode.
It's always better when things are good.
Yes.
Also, it's probably not intentional, but like one of the characters in that PV just looks like Lottie from Little Witch Academia, like practically a clone of that character, like to the point where I'd almost be like, I don't know, Trigger, you might need to get your lawyers on the phone. This character is like one for one. Just
I was gonna say I think this was actually made like in 2010 or something, but then I realized Little Witch Academia is a lot older than I'm remembering as well. So
yeah, but I'm mostly joking. I just thought, I was like, the character just
like when was the first OVA? Like maybe like 2013 or something. It was pretty early, and
even earlier than that.
Sounds
well. It can't be too much earlier because
as we all know,
because Trigger
didn't exist much earlier than that.
Right.
But,
but yes.
Anyway, it is an interesting story, nonetheless. Okay, let's move on to This Monster Wants to Eat Me. And I just want to start by saying, is this the third podcast episode in a row that I can ask the question, how do you all feel about Tragic Eerie?
Wavering hand.
So, Artemis, I know you mentioned you were interested in.
Okay, eat me. Got it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
checking this one out, but yes.
Yeah, this isn't on my radar for any kind of production staff reason. Like, I don't really know anyone working. I mean, I know the names, but they're not ringing any bells for me. The studio is pretty new. I think they've only done like 1 or 2 or 3 maybe tops, like, anime previously that I'm aware of, none of which I have watched. I guess the reason I'm watching it is I've seen a lot of people comparing it to The Summer Hikaru Died in terms of like that blend of horror and Yuri kind of meshed together, and saying it's basically the girls' version of that. So I guess I'm just curious enough to watch the first episode and see if it does capture that same kind of vibe.
Yeah, so if anyone's curious about the, let's say, interesting title, I think they're playing off of is it like a Japanese folklore thing where, like, if you eat a mermaid you get immortality or something?
Yeah,
I guess so. It kind of reminded me like a little bit of Natsume Juncho as well, and that it seems like, I haven't read the manga, but it seems as though this human girl main character is just for some reason like extremely delicious to surrounding kind of yokai or something. So
she's supposed to be like a mermaid or something, right? Like that's
the other main character. So
I've got it mixed up.
So the one of the main characters is human, and the other one she meets as a mermaid, who wants to literally eat her. And so the mermaid basically promises to stave off other yokai until she's delicious enough for her to eat instead. You know, basically, like, this is my
I
meal.
Can't let anybody
everyone
eat
else.
you because I will be the one to eat you.
So are all the other yokai like also cute girls, or are they actual like monsters?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I feel like they might just be other monsters. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyone who has read the manga can feel free to chime in the comments and tell me that I'm wrong. And just from the synopsis and from the trailer that I saw, I don't remember a bevy of cute girls trying to eat her. So
I guess my brain just processed that as she was trying to eat the mermaid because that's the folklore.
No, it's the
I guess
opposite.
they swapped that around or so, or maybe it's just pure coincidence that's what they went with. But that's, I think, a pretty popular.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they will tie in some folklore stuff into it. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But it seems also that the human girl is incredibly depressed. Or just not happy. Like, she has no particular desire to do anything or achieve anything or whatever, and so that's why she is not delicious, kind of thing. And so the mermaid will only eat her when she desires to live, when she is basically happy, is when she will be delicious. So we'll see. I'm curious. I don't know if I necessarily hope for a great show, but it looked fine from what I saw so far. So I'll check it out and see.
This is perhaps a very ignorant thing for me to say, but it seems like it's more of like a if people are making the comparison to the Summer Hikaru Died, this feels like it is perhaps more adhering to genre conventions than that show is. I guess the way I would put it.
That may well be the case. Yeah.
Now, you don't know. One of these girls might put their hand in the chest cavity of the other. There's still a chance.
Yeah. So that's always possible, I guess.
Well, it seems the studio is best known for they're currently doing Duel Masters, the card game anime, and this is this is them like trying to do something else.
Right. Trying to maybe go legit here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to talk about.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah!
Oh my
she's
goodness!
Back.
She's back.
Deep breath here. Is anybody on this planet braver than Paru Itagaki?
I don't know. Maybe her father.
Only her
maybe her
father,
dad.
I think. Only her dad.
So
Keisuke Itagaki is maybe.
We don't need to talk about the piss triangle. Like
the piss triangle. His main villain insert OC threatening to sexually assault Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
We are talking about Sanda instead of Baki the Grappler. But yes.
Yeah, okay.
I will never not laugh at the piss triangle. But yes.
But don't worry, Paru Itagaki's got her own freak too, as we'll see with this one.
Like father, like daughter, Paru Itagaki, most famous for creating Beastars. This is an adaptation of another one of her newer manga, Sanda, and I don't think I'm capable of explaining what Sanda is about. I don't know if one of you guys want to take a stab at it. But
sure,
by all means, G.
The synopsis is Paru Itagaki is on record saying that her first object of sexual attraction was Santa Claus. There's your premise.
I've read that about her. Yeah.
So yes, in this.
Okay, so the actual premise is. In a kind of dystopian world where youth and children are fetishized to an extreme degree, and children are treated like valuable commodities, a boy discovers that he is the latest descendant of Santa Claus, and thus is imbued with all of Santa Claus's powers. And what this means is that this little twink boy has the ability to transform into Santa Claus, but because it is Paru Itagaki's sexual fetish object, Santa Claus, that means that Santa Claus is a large, buff, naked man.
Yeah, I mean the only reason why he looks like Santa Claus is because he has white hair and a beard, not like the big Santa beard, just like
not even
like a regular beard, and he wears like a red jacket or something, and that's otherwise he's just a buff old man.
Yes, Paru is on record. She loves old men. She likes a silver fox. That is her explicit type. And because Paru is the second bravest mangaka in the world, she has no restrictions about admitting this and writing a rather successful manga exploring her favorite sexual fetish.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sanda's
brought to you by Science Sorrow.
Yes, so that
I
is
love that Science Sorrow is doing this. I don't know why. It feels like it makes sense, but
yeah, I think this one. I think if you enjoyed Beastars, I can't say 100% that Sanda is going to be for you. I think Sanda, in many ways, because it is about humans, in some ways, Sanda is paradoxically more bizarre than Beastars.
Right?
Because
Beastar, I think one of the things about Beastars is every time you saw something completely insane, then you would think about it for a little bit and go, well, I guess if they're all wild animals, I guess that kind of makes sense. Right.
I guess it would make sense that a chicken when would sell her own eggs.
Right. In your fucked up, weird animal society. But yeah, when it's just people.
When it's human beings that vaguely look like you and me, acting like Beastars characters, it's almost more incongruous. It's, and yet, I would say broadly, I think Sanda is fundamentally, at least what I've read of the manga, is not as singularly compelling as Beastars, but I think there is an embrace of the absurd in Sanda that, yeah, I think, if you like Beastars, a season of Sanda will probably be a pretty good time if you just let it wash over you. If you just don't like question it too hard, you just accept that yes, this boy can transform into Santa, but Santa is a buff, sexy silver fox who fights crime? Question mark. Protect the dreams of
let's
children.
just say fights.
Let's just say fights. Let's just say fights. Yeah, why not, right? Like, why the fuck not? Especially because it's Science Saru, and like, there are like parts of this PV that almost look like maybe they wanted Trigger to adapt Sanda before they settled on Science Saru.
The recent triggerification of Science Saru is a subject we could speak on.
I mean, let's be honest. Sanda looks like a Trigger character,
kind of,
right?
Yeah,
like
angular lines and
yeah. Like I could definitely see that. And hey, main writer is Kimiko Umeno.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Now, based on our recent history over the past year or two, I don't know if having her as the main writer is going to work.
Well, it is an adaptation, at least.
I guess it is an adaptation, yes.
Right?
Okay,
like, because Kimiko Ueno also was the writer for Dungeon Meshi, right? And so I think...
Right. That's true. Yes.
I think an adaptation inherently will restrict her a little bit more, and I think... I'm looking forward to Sanda. That's what I'll say. I think Sanda is going to be an excellent supplier of out-of-context screen caps and clips.
Yes.
It's going to blow up on that portion of the internet, I'm sure, right? Yeah, I'm definitely interested as somebody who mostly enjoyed Beastars up until the most recent season. It's interesting because I do think one of the most interesting and entertaining things about Beastars was seeing how they were like doing the world building with the people being animals but also like people, right? And how do you
what is animal society? Yeah,
and that's obviously just not in this going to be in this at all, right? So but I also enjoyed the just sheer absurdity of some of the things that happen in Beastars, so if we're getting some of that, I'm sure it'll be entertaining. But did you guys actually read all the manga or just some of it? Or
I only read a bit of it.
I am still reading Sanda, and I will,
and it's
Haru's,
finished, right? It's
not yet. I think it's getting close though. But
okay.
Again, Paru Itagaki, the second bravest mangaka, like truly, they're just. The world building in Sanda is not to the same degree of Beastars, but there is a little bit in Sanda of like, okay, how do you extrapolate from Santa Claus has descendants?
I was good, yeah.
Where else could you take that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
also expecting some stand-like interpretations of Santa Claus's power set.
I almost don't want to think too hard about that one.
Do other mythical figures have children?
Interesting. Okay.
What would their powers be?
Now you've piqued my interest. All right.
I don't want to be thinking about like a buff sexualized Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny gonna fuck you up. Mirko, what are you doing here? You lost your job after My Hero Academia ended?
That's yeah. Well, that would have been Beastars, right? I'm sure.
Well, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe then that's perfect for never mind. For Paru, yeah.
There were certainly sexualized bunnies in Beastars.
It's true.
I'm just gonna leave that one there. All right. Let's talk about what are we calling this one, G?
People are calling it Fujimoto 1726 or just 1726 for short.
Okay.
This is an animated anthology based on the one-shots that Tatsuki Fujimoto of Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch fame.
And
the reason for the name is that these are the one-shots that he wrote between the ages of 17 to 26. These are basically the things he wrote prior to his serialized debut with Fire Punch.
Interesting.
It's kind of interesting to see, like, of course, Chainsaw Man is enormous, or what have you, production, whatnot aside. Like, Chainsaw Man is extremely popular, and his other stuff has been very popular. And so to see them say, let's dig into the backlog, and I like, how successful is that going to be? Like,
right.
if he had not developed as much as a mangaka back then, like, I'm sure the things that make his stuff compelling or still exist in there, but also, I don't know, is this expected to be like particularly good or what?
I think there will be, like many anthologies, I think there will be some standouts here. I think Tatsuki Fujimoto developed a lot as a creator over the years. I think you don't get Chainsaw Man without Fire Punch, and I don't think you get Fire Punch without some of these one-shots, right?
Of course.
Where Fujimoto kind of explores his style, his approach to writing. Many of the things that we now consider iconic to his look and style are being actively developed during this time period. And I think some of these are kind of rough. I think some of these don't always hit. I think none of these hold a candle to Look Back, if I'm being honest, right? I think, but I think this is neat. I think this is a fun concept. I think making an anthology is neat. I think looking at some of these studios, I think some of these will probably be a little bit on the rough side. Some of these studios don't seem nearly as well established, right? Because on one hand, you got like PA Works, and on the other hand, you got Graph 77.
I don't know who that is.
Of course, Graph 77.
And no hate to Graph 77. I just, your only credit is this anthology. So, but I think in some ways maybe that befits the Fujimoto vibe, is a little bit of this free jazz kind of approach of just give these stories to people and let them take a swing, and they're not all going to hit. In fact, I can guarantee, I think a lot of these, I think, for better or worse, right? Still, as somebody who still greatly respects Fujimoto, obviously Chainsaw Man has become very mainstream. It has attracted a very different kind of fan base. Not to go full, I liked him before he was cool, but I think the ways in which Fujimoto is spoken of these days is very different than when it was
the Fire Punch guy is getting a Shonen Jump.
The Fire Punch guy is working in Shonen Jump. Yeah, that guy. But I think so. I think if you're going into this thinking, "Oh yeah, man, we're gonna see the origins of Chainsaw Man," I think you'll be a little disappointed. But I think if you're willing to approach this as here are the freshman and sophomoric works of somebody who eventually becomes one of the most notable individuals in the medium, I think there might be a lot to appreciate here. I think there might be a lot to, on an artistic level, on a historic level, just because I think you will look at some of these stories that even in their roughness, even in their simplicity, you'll go, oh, he was always that guy, huh? Oh, he always thinks about these kinds of things. He always writes about these kinds of things. Oh, that character in Chainsaw Man was literally just plucked out of one of his one-shots and repurposed, right? It's...
Right. I guess the concept I was trying to get at earlier is the sense of it is fortunate for him, for Fujimoto, that he became popular enough that the idea of searching through his creative through line prior to getting big is something that the studios think can make them money.
Right. I think
these are things that you could say about many prominent creators. Just
of course,
how many of them? Right. We just don't get a chance to look
have
through
the privilege, right?
The early stuff. Yeah.
Right. Not a lot of people are doing adaptations of what was
Mizukami, Tom Penchu, his...
Yeah, no, I was what was Tite Kubo's one shot before?
Zombie Powder.
Zombie Powder, right? Nobody's doing an animated adaptation of Zombie Powder, right? It's in some ways Fujimoto gets to exist in a very interesting place in the current manga and anime field, and I think I don't know, you're right that in some ways he is uniquely privileged.
I'm not trying to tear him down in any way, to be clear.
Sure, yeah, but I think he is. Oh, go ahead, Jill.
I feel like and I'm disconnected from the world of manga, so you can tell me if this is accurate. He kind of feels like he is kind of straddled between the huge mainstream success of Chainsaw Man, but also still has some artsy street cred to him.
Yeah.
That is definitely, I think, a big aspect of it, right?
Which is not something that maybe somebody like Tide Kubo has, but so it's interesting because then to me I was so impressed with Look Back, right? Like and I could see, I'm like, and again, my only frame of reference with Chainsaw Man was the anime. I'm like, how is this the same guy? But just I could see him having some interesting stories, or even just the intellectual exercise of seeing the development of somebody like that could be interesting. If I could see that being a thing, but yeah, he must be doing really well though if somebody decided to take on this project, right?
Yeah, I mean, like almost as like an exercise, I would say if you have never read Fujimoto's one-shots, like, and you're planning to watch this anthology, don't read the one-shots yet. Like watch the anthology and then go back and read the one-shot that inspired it. And I am so curious because like Fujimoto at the best of times is an interesting artist. I think he is very capable of evoking powerful imagery.
Yeah.
But he is not a traditionally exemplary draftsman.
Right.
I would say some of his early one-shots are some, like, webcomic One Punch Man shit.
Oh, baby.
I mean, if we're going back to when he was 17, he was like literally a child when he was making some of this, right?
I am so curious to see some of those like one-tier scribbles translated into like higher fidelity anime spectacle, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's very interesting, and good for him that he's getting that kind of attention. But yeah. All right. Well, hey, there's a new Digimon.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah, so I'll just say the title. This is Digimon BEATBREAK, and then the subtitle, Glitch the Future.
Oh boy, Glitch the Future. I didn't know about that part. That's funny. The story of Digimon for the past decade or so has been alternating attempts of desperately trying to recapture the magic of the first show, Digimon Adventure, which is like the quintessential 52 episode children's anime to me. Like, and it is enduringly popular, let's say. And then sort of one-off like new shows. There was Apply Monsters in 2016, 2017. 2020 had the Digimon Adventure : the like reimagining / remake, which was terrible. And then a few years ago, they had Digimon Ghost Game, which was perfectly fine for what it was, sort of like more horror themed, spooky, whatnot. And so now we've got BEATBREAK, which, if Ghost Game felt like it was aimed at, let's say, 8 or 9 year olds, BEATBREAK feels like the show aimed at 13 or 14 year olds who watched a Ghost Game when they were younger, right?
Right, seems more like teenage crowd oriented.
Yes,
preteen to teen, right? The 12 to 15.
So like the characters in this are teenagers, not children, right? They're teens. They're going to be part of an organization trying to stop the bad guys or what have you, etc. Like, and it's Digimon. It'll probably be totally fine. I don't see any reason it would be a mess so far. I mean, the new Digimon look fine. Just Megumi Han is voicing Gekkomon, not to be Gekkomon, as opposed to Gekkomon.
Okay.
Gekomon as opposed to Gekomon.
I assume the joke you're making here is there is a pre-existing Gekomon.
There is.
That's really confusing. Why would you do that? What?
Well,
why would you do
katakana
that?
is different in Japanese.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's. I'm sure it'll be fine. The writer on this one wrote the original Metabots. So
okay, connection to me. All right. Hold on.
Among a million other
sure,
things.
a million other kids shows us.
Yeah,
but is there a connection to Spider Riders?
I don't know.
That's the big
probably
one.
Somewhere.
We haven't brought that up in a long time.
And the director was on One Piece for like 300 episodes because it's Toei. And Toei has their catalog of people they can reach into a hat and grab somebody. Yeah. Seems fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, obviously when we talk about kids shows, right? I mean, this looks like it is of higher budget, right? This is not going to be a...
Well, the thing Toei kids shows, they can spike a real high and will barely tread water the rest of the time,
sure.
right?
I guess what I mean is, like, this looks like another attempt at prestige is not the right word, right? But we want you to take this one more seriously, kind of push, right? Which I think is a thing that tends to happen. Like, long-running franchises will every 5 to 10 years try to take another crack at doing something like this, which I think it's interesting.
I'm curious if it will run for both Digimon Adventure 2020 and Ghost Game ran for 5 cours. That's 67 episodes.
Oh wow!
Okay, well,
I'm curious if this will as well.
Right?
Yeah. They were fine. As I said, none of them can really capture that original one.
Right. You will forever be chasing that.
You will forever be chasing the first adventure and Butterfly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right. I guess the last questions that remain. Geckomon's final evolution or Digivolution. Will it have a gun or a sword? Which type of protagonist final Digivolution is Geckomon?
Let's see. I don't know if we've seen any of its evolutions at all yet.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I'm telling you to speculate.
Ooh, I'm
lizard. He uses a tongue a lot in the PV.
Yeah, he's a lizard.
You gotta mount the gun on his head or something, right?
They did that with. Oh my god, I can't remember what it was called in Ghost Game, and I feel bad because it wasn't Gatchmon. Was Apply Monsters. Oh my goodness. Zig will flame me later. I think we're gonna get a Toku man. I mean, surprise, surprise. A lot of level Digimon become Toku people.
All right, and then I will make my called shot.
Okay.
I think the yellow cat with the bumblebee tail and the robot hands, I'm calling it. That is the Digimon that will turn into an attractive human woman.
Yeah. Look, I think that's the one that belongs to the girl. So.
Okay, so all right, maybe it's a little too obvious.
That's almost too obvious. Yeah.
Look, man, as we always joke with Digivolutions, you become a fridge with a gun, or a hot lady,
or a Toku man, or a Kamen Rider. Yeah,
or a Kamen Rider.
I will shout out. Look, so in Ghost Game, the scared twink character voiced by Kaoru from Evangelion, his partner was Jellymon, who shot electricity and called him darling like Ursa Yatsura, and her final form was not a sexy lady as much, right? It was
What do you mean as much?
Okay, it was in a big mech diving suit. I'm gonna post Amphimon here. Yeah,
could you possibly pull this up? I kind of need to see what you mean by less. Yeah, I mean, still a feminine shape.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay, that's kind of a neat. That's a neat design, actually.
And then we were all oh hey, it's not a sexy lady.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
And they never cheat and have her take off the helmet to reveal a pretty lady underneath. Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Digimon.
I'm sure the
fan artists.
Anyway, probably. They're too busy still looking at Renamon, probably. I don't fucking know.
Those,
Go ahead.
Those, looking at this design, those, are they shoes? Are they...
They still gave her heel somehow.
Are they Y2K boots? Like, what's...
I think so.
They kind of look like that, yeah.
I find something hilarious / fascinating about Digimon's enduring design philosophy of we have no design philosophy. It is slap anything on that shit. It's a Digimon, baby.
It is the most charming thing about Digimon at this point. Like,
you want a lion with a bancho hat? Sure. How about, I don't know, a gun with a cowboy hat? Yup.
What about a dinosaur made of guns?
What about a dinosaur made of guns? Yeah. What about this dinosaur in commando gear? How about that?
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Commando Mon? Or no? What was it? It was a.
I think so.
Like, Marine Mon or something, right? There's a whole line of them where there was like, it's like goes from like infantryman to like spec ops or some shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Look up some random Digimon sometime. They are so fucking insane.
As someone who stopped watching Digimon after Digimon Tamers,
good choice,
early
probably.
2000s, I feel like I really did make the right call.
Yeah. I'm not going to say you didn't. I have some affection for Ghost Game and Atmon, but they're not that good, right?
Yeah.
Like, and none of the movies lately have been any good, if you ask me. Certain notable folks on the social medias love them, and I don't think they're very good.
I was invested enough still just to watch try to watch the remake and to watch the movies, like the Digimon Adventure movies. Which I kind of hated. So
they're not very good.
I did not try after that.
Boom. Yeah.
Mic drop.
Indeed. Yeah.
All right.
So, and you know what? I play. Bonus. I played the demo of the new RPG Time Stranger. It seems
How is it?
It seems fine. I crashed the game by using Cheat Engine to digivolve my Digimon too hard, and the data was not in the game, and so when it tried to load the models of Seraphimon in the game crashed. Weirdly enough, a little more Shin Megami Tensei than some Shin Megami Tensei games I've played.
Interesting. I look forward to the inevitable blog post.
There's a Digimon summoning program. You know what doesn't have a demon summoning program? Nocturne.
Yeah.
Look.
I know, I'm kidding. It's the meaning we get to dunk on about Nocturne.
I know.
Iro, you are now an SMT expert, so check out Iro's,
I'm almost comfortable handing the mantle to you. You are now the GLORIO Chat's foremost SMT expert.
I kind of want to check out Digital Devils.
I can retire now. Like you've taken the mantle.
Oh my goodness!
Check out Iro's blog, Obsidian Moonshine, for more information.
Yes, well, thank you.
Plug.
Yes, check out my website, obsidianmoonshine.com, where I'm going to be updating the JoJo Bizarre Adventure Let's Play.
There you go. Get that plug in. All right. I have the heading here in our show notes. Mm-hmm. It's finally time.
We're here.
Run while you can.
We're wrapping this thing up.
I am starting my stopwatch. Just so you know,
you can't outrun an Umamusume, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So if you've been
listening,
I
take them back with a shotgun?
if you've been listening to the podcast,
Glue Factory,
past several episodes, you would know that G and I have gotten into Umamusume with the global release of the game, and
you and everyone else.
Yeah, and they have broken containment. I've seen them appear in other places you would not expect to see them. But yes, and as it so happens, in that time, G, you've watched all of the anime, correct?
I have watched basically everything there is to watch.
And I've watched
Umamusume.
I've watched a significant portion of it, let's say.
Yes.
Let's say most of it even. Because we are getting season 2 of the latest anime series, Umamusume Cinderella Grey, starting next season. And now we officially have a real reason to talk about Umamusume. So,
bro, every week of the next season is just going to be. It's going to be like what I do to the rest of you with Gundam is now going to be inflicted on the rest of you, but with fucking.
I get to join in this time.
Gundam is like culturally important and creatively like full.
Okay, look, all right. If I can set the stage a little bit here, because I've been thinking about this, I want people to understand why we think Umamusume is good. This is not like, perhaps there's some irony, but it's not like an ironic, haha, it's funny that we like a.
Oh no, I know that you generally enjoy it. Continue.
But I want to explain, at least from my perspective, why I actually got into this, because yes, the game. It's a game that was originally they started making or was supposed to come out in 2018, and it is from kind of that era where it is like very cute anime girls, idol adjacent. I mean, there's literally idol performances that they feel like they had to like shoehorn in at that point, but it feels very like idol game adjacent, even though the actual subject material is it is girls, and they are horse girls, and they run and they race, and at the time, because we did first look the anime back then, we were like we all hated it.
What we all went like, what is this? Haha! They had the one joke where the phone's big, and then we all went on
which they maintained throughout the entire, even into like the more kind of more realistic Cinderella Grey seasons. They still have the horse phones.
Remarkably consistent in that one regard.
Yes. I think what we have discovered is some genius at Psy Games realized that there is an inherent drama to the sport of horse racing that is something that they were pretty easily able to tap into, because they basically literally adapt the careers of these horses, right? And the thing with horse racing is the horses have very short careers. There's very few big races that you can race in. Some of them you only get one shot ever in your entire life. And even the best horses only win like 3 or 4 of them ever in their entire life. So it inherently sets up the drama of you are going to be failing a lot in your career.
Yes. The way I sort of like, go ahead, John.
Yeah, and so just to wrap that thought up, if you're a horse, you don't care. You're just happy that you get to run and you get fed, right? But when you add add humans into that equation, I guess, then there's a lot of stories to explore that you see in. I mean, like, this is not like groundbreaking. You see these things in other sports anime, but it's very good sports anime. It makes for very good sports anime.
I think yes, the thing that Umamusume has done like so remarkably well, even before Cinderella Grey, I think during the best seasons of Pretty Derby, is it is kind of keying directly into the factors that you talked about, Jel, which is that horse racing is a relatively short career for these horses, and
it's extremely competitive because
right? Because
small amount of time in races, right, makes it
right.
competitive.
There are like they in Japanese horse or in horse racing in general, right? Races are graded grade 1 through grade 3, and winning even one grade 1 race is like enough to at least like lock your name into a history book.
Yes.
Like,
yep.
And if you're winning like
multiples,
6,
you're in the Hall of Fame at that point, right?
Yeah, and because it is a sport in which there is only ever one winner, as you said, I think Umamusume gets deep into the like paradoxically the human drama of why people compete, and I think that is greatly enhanced by the fact that because they are following the real world, the real careers of the horses that are inspiring these girls, there's kind of a spontaneity that you don't see in, I think, more traditional sports anime. Like, I think traditional sports anime often still feels like it has to follow the natural structure of narrative. And so if it makes the most sense for a certain team to win, that team will win, right? Because it just makes the story better that way. But I think Umamusume often is willing to tread into the ground of like, no, actually the less interesting thing will happen, or the less conventionally exciting thing will happen, because that's how it went in real life. So now instead we have to examine, what do you do when the expected thing doesn't happen, right? It makes, especially for those of us who are not familiar with the real history, it kind of makes Umamusume more like unpredictable, right? I mean, we're here to talk about
it is not it's not going to like follow like narrative. You were saying it won't necessarily follow like narrative convention over who wins and who doesn't win, because it must adhere to reality.
Or even some things like I'll give one example in Cinderella Grey, when the main character is Oguri Cap, and she literally can't run in a race because she couldn't register in time. And it's like one of the biggest races, and it's one of those ones that you only get to run once ever. So now she's just never going to ever be able to run in that race again. And like, they kind of build it up, the drama. Like in other anime, there probably would have been some loophole or something where she gets to race.
Like a big aspect of that plot line is like, oh, there's a fan writing campaign. There's like all this like groundswell. The people want Oguri Cap to run,
which happened, show. Which did happen in real life.
Which happened in real life, but because. They were petitioning a real life horse racing like organization. They were like, "Are you stupid? No, we're not going to change the rules.
You can't just change the rules because you want to." Yeah.
Except then they kind of did 5 years later in a rule that was literally enshrined as the Oguri Cap rule.
I think ultimately, we're going to learn about Oguri Cap's great-great-grandfather, Palestine.
I think ultimately maybe we're just really interested in horse racing now.
So
I mean, this is the same thing that makes G stay up to 1 a.m. every year to watch Evo. All right, look.
Yes, like the same reason I like fighting games, right? Like it's good when the fighting game is good, but even watching Street Fighter V played competitively was riveting because of the human drama, right? The unpredictability. Yeah. It's why people like sports in general, right? It's why people watch the playoffs, they watch the Super Bowl, right? Because inherently, the very act of play and competition will create certain types of narratives, right? It's the Chiefs versus the Eagles again. It's stuff like that, right? It's the runbacks. Yeah. It's the rubber match between Goichi and Sonic Fox and Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I think like Umamusume is like so good at like at tapping into that wellspring. I think.
Yeah, it's not that it's just they're have those elements, because other sports anime have that. They actually do a very good job of it, right?
I think so.
And like, okay, so if we go through just to like explain the anime situation, because it is a little complicated. the original series is Umamusume Pretty Derby, which was created by PA Works starting in 2018. There's 3 seasons of that. That series, it's very funny to me, because we'll talk about Cinderella Grey. It's very funny to me that the outsourced anime is the one that's closest to the game that Side Games made, and then when they decided to make their own anime, they didn't adapt their own game. But that aside, the original Umamusume anime is kind of it's a pretty close adaptation to the game, right? Like they're staying fairly close to the look and feel of how the game works.
Yeah, definitely in tone and style, I would say.
Yeah. And season 1 is like, it's fine. It's kind of close to what you would expect. There's some pretty good plot lines, especially once they get into like the, Silent Suzuka injury stuff and all that, right? But which is another whole interesting story when you consider what it's. So like that's another example where like in real life. This is an example where they kind of changed things a little bit, where in real life, one of the characters was based on a horse who actually broke his leg during a race and they had to put him down. But in the anime, they get a chance for her to actually make a comeback.
Well, that never happens in the anime, to be clear. Right?
Yes. But, it's another element of drama they put in there. But anyway, season 1 is it's fine. Season 2, I think, is where they got us, G, right? Like that's
it's Tokai Teo, right?
The Legend of Tokai Teo and Major McQueen, and that even after watching Cinderella Grey, which still is we're going to get into season 2 is happening, so the story is not finished yet. But I still probably preferred season 2 of Pretty Derby.
Tokai Teo is a really compelling protagonist, because. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the best examples of what we're talking about, because the majority of season 2, the main character Tokai Teo is just recovering from injuries.
Don't forget Tokai Teo's great-great-grandfather, Palestine.
so like it's.
I don't understand the bit. Like,
there's a horse named Palestine.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It's very much playing into the fact that a lot of your, if you were a real person and a horse, a lot of your career would be disappointment, and you're not you're not going to reach all your goals. Not everybody's going to be happy, and how do you deal with that? And that's a compelling sports story. Right?
It's really effective, right? Because like Tokai Teo is intentionally set up as like the shonen protagonist of a sports story, and she's the genius, she's naturally talented, she's Gambare, right? And the fact that they make that character endure like such an unrelenting string of humiliating losses and setbacks, and like tests that character like archetype repeatedly,
right?
It makes the payoff like really satisfying.
And they did like such a surprisingly good job characterizing her, because she's not like, she's actually pretty reasonable. Like, she's not like, I feel like that type of character is like, I'm gonna smash my way through this no matter what, and she's a little bit like that initially, but when she kind of like reality hits her, she's actually a pretty reasonable character.
So what's the show coming up next season?
We're getting there. I'm doing all of this to set the context.
Gel is invoking host privilege. He's like, I'm going to keep talking about Pretty Derby.
Yes, because I want to have the context of why we think the show is good. So yes, that my point is that they wrote her character surprisingly good in that. So I didn't watch season 3. G, you said that's kind of more. Would it be fair to say closer to season 1?
Well, I would actually say season 3 is closer to season 2. It's just not as well executed.
Okay.
It's still trying to do the sports drama thing. It just picks a worse. It just makes a worse choice for protagonist.
Right.
But yeah, I think if we do want to get into like Cinderella Grey here, so we have set up that like Umamusume's anime adaptations already show that they have a penchant for understanding what is compelling about sports drama, and then we get into Cinderella Grey, which, just to give a brief synopsis, right? Cinderella Grey is a spin-off. It's an adaptation of a manga spin-off by the same name by Taiyo Kazumi. And it basically tells the story of the character Oguri Cap and her rise to national stardom from her humble origins as a small-time racer in rural Japan. And like all Umamusume, it's loosely based on the real-world events of Oguri Cap's career, who dominated Japanese horse racing in the late 80s, I believe. And if I were to say what is Cinderella Grey's thing, right? Like, so we've just been talking about why we like or what we think Pretty Derby did well. Like, Cinderella Grey, I think, is the, like, I don't want to say edgier, but it is the, like, harder. Like,
my explanation is like, Pretty Derby is still kind of idol anime adjacent a little bit.
Yes,
certainly in the look and presentation of it. Cinderella Grey switches over to like an actual proper sports manga.
It's a full on sports drama, right? It is full on like
like for the anime, the characters look like 5 to 10 years older. They turned the saturation and the colors down by at least 30%. the OP is now a rock song. You know, it's a different vibe now, right?
Right.
It feels like a cool sports anime from 2009 or something.
And they make the transition work. It works remarkably well. Like they just fully embrace the drama and the feelings and the emotions of these characters, right? Like what drives them to run? Why do they want to be the best? Like what are the obstacles that they must overcome, whether it's fellow rivals or, the system of horse racing itself. And I think a lot of this can also be laid at, like, yes, the art style shift, right? Cinderella Grey is handled by Cygames Pictures directly. It is, it's a lot more serious. It's almost a little goofy, but like the characters themselves, like, are a lot more intense.
Let's be real here, G. They changed the characters from little anime girls to evil women.
Yes, exactly. Yes, these women
we're never beating the allegations.
No, these horse women are crazy for racing.
Everyone was like, "Whoa, fate stay night changes King Arthur from a man to a woman." Over here, Umamusume, every one of these girls should have a horse dick. Like,
no, some of them
they've all been gender swapped.
Some of them were originally mares.
Did they race mares?
R.I.P. to Arukurara, who was a mare and recently passed away since our last episode.
Tried her best. Went 0-113, which
most famous for never actually winning a race.
Back to the anime.
Rest in peace. But
yes.
Yeah, so it's the intensity. Like, if you've ever watched like an interview with a real athlete, right? Like a documentary, like Michael Jordan's The Last Dance or what have you. The thing you always pick up on, for better or for worse, to be a pro athlete requires a like dangerously like manic obsession with your sport of choice, right?
Yeah.
Like you live
every waking moment is about preparing yourself for the next game.
Yes, and whether that's admirable or not, it is deeply compelling to watch a person care deeply about something, right? Like to be able to like secondhand experience that emotion from a distance. Like, it's why I think sports are compelling, right? I think it's why competition is compelling, right? To see because none of us could ever be that, right? Like, not even racing. None of us are going to Evo. None of us are winning the Super Bowl, right? Like, but to see the people who are willing to throw their entire lives behind it, it's like, how could you not be compelled by it? And I think that's what Cinderella Grey does a really good job of leaning into, right? Oguri Cap is like actually a really fun protagonist, right?
Yeah,
because
she's very fun. Yes,
like she's intense, but also she's kind of a goofball. But she is doing it for the love of the game, right? Like,
yeah, she's like head completely empty, no thoughts other than eat food, run fast. But then it makes it very cool when she decides to lock in and get serious, right? So, and she's just as intense as anybody else when it comes to like actually getting out there and racing.
And I think a lot of this also is, again, it's the art direction, right? It's the ways these, like, if you've ever like seen sports photography and you see like the faces people make when they compete, it's like that same vibe in Cinderella Grey. These horse girls' faces contort with like fury, with rage, with despair.
They literally call Oguri Cap the Beast, right? Because she's
she runs like a rabid animal, and
they depict them as almost turning into like feral creatures when they're on the track.
Again, just does a good job of just like keying into like why competition is compelling. And I think Cinderella Grey also does a great job with its rival characters, right? Like season 1 ends with Oguri Cap's rivalry with Tamamo Cross, another like very like respected racehorse from this period, and also uniquely, again, you can't make this shit up. Also a white horse in an era when I think in general white horses are not common in horse racing. Yeah. I think just like it's like a genetics thing, it's a pedigree thing. And so you have this like really riveting rivalry between two white horses with like fairly different styles and motivations, and they do a really good job of like putting you in the place of like why
when you say styles, like it's a different style to run fast, like around track.
Yes, or different race strategies.
There's different strategies, yeah.
But that's a jockey thing, not a horse thing.
Well,
right?
if the girl is the jockey, then yes, she has the one who has to do the strategy.
The thing about Umamusume that makes it somewhat interesting at times is that oftentimes the characters in Umamusume are taking inspiration from the real horse, but also they are sometimes taking inspiration from like the career of the jockey as well.
It's like the combination of a little bit of both.
So like there's a thing of like, oh, this character, like this horse's jockey was a big fan of fishing, and so the Umamusume also likes fishing, stuff like that.
But Koa and Judo both rode the Zeta Gundam as well as Kabil.
Yes. So like,
I just want to add real quick, G, to your point about like the compelling competition aspect. You combine that intensity with the fact that only one person can win.
Yes.
So all of these girls have the same or close to the same competitive drive. They've worked just as hard, and there's probably only a marginal difference between how fast they are on the track.
Yes.
And only one of them can win. And they kind of hype up the, even the every race, they kind of give you a little backstory on like the top, 4 racers, and they're all just as determined to win. And only one girl can win, so there's a lot of drama. And you know what? The main character is not always the one that wins, too. So
I think it works really well. I mean, like there are horses that like get mentioned. Like I think it's like Sirius Symboli, where it's like I'm pretty sure that the horse is like low key legendary. And
yes,
like
but
in Cinderella Grey,
this particular race,
she's just another jobber to fall at the feet of Oguri Cap, and it's like, and I think So I think the combination of the utilization of the real world like careers, the drama, the level of competition to display, the intensity of the characters, it kind of like Side Games Pictures like excellent direction. It all kind of like works together to make Cinderella Grey this really compelling package. And I think, if we want to like finally springboard here, like Season 2 is a continuation of that, right? Is a continuation of Oguri Cap's career. The PV seems to indicate that the next big race is going to be an international race, right? It is doing the classic sports anime thing of, the Americans are here now.
Yes, the American horses, or international at least. I know at least one of them is American, but yes. So we left off because I literally just finished watching season 1, which aired earlier this year, and yes, we left off with Oguri Cap's pretty notable defeat
at the Fall Tenno show.
At the Fall Tenno show, which is coming up in November, but yes,
maybe I'll try to see it when I'm in Japan.
Yes, and I guess we're doing Japan Cup next, which is one of the races that allows international racers. So that's the direction. But that's just like another thing where it's wild how like this is all like tied to the actual what actually happened, and yet it just automatically makes a like sports anime story, right? Like it just almost writes itself.
I think oftentimes it's like, we've talked about this sometimes when we've all like watched Evo together, right? Where it's like it's so cool when the spontaneity of real competition creates real narratives. Like
life is more interesting than fiction.
Yeah, and I think Cinderella Grey, despite the fact that it is a fully fictional story in the sense that it is, Umamusume aren't real.
Sorry, folks.
Yes, I'm sorry to reveal. Yes, sorry, children. Like Santa, Santa is not actually a buff naked man.
Yeah.
Umamusume are not real, but
maybe that's the episode title.
Yes. But yeah, like the leveraging of real world sports drama continues just like elevate Cinderella Grey, I think, from, again, to be clear, right? I don't think we're not like, hell, you seem to like season 2 of Pretty Derby more than Cinderella Grey. I think so. I don't even want to like downplay Pretty Derby, but I just think that like Cinderella Grey is so good at like leaning fully into the drama aspect of the stories, and I think that's what works for me.
I think the only thing, I don't know if I liked season 2 of Pretty Derby more. It's I think the emotional drama of that story is higher than anything we hit in Cinderella Grey.
Right.
But overall,
right.
Cinderella Grey I think is a probably a better package. I would say there were some stretches, having just watched the show, where some of the episodes in the middle get a little repetitive with like, okay, here's today's race, here's the 4 girls, Oguri Cap crushes them onto the next episode.
Oguri Cap ran fast.
So but certainly like presentation wise and everything overall, and they do find some, very interesting angles to take. I didn't know you had to like get a fancy license to be a horse trainer. But
I mean, I think that actually makes a good amount of sense. Actually, I'm pretty sure they don't just want Joe Schmoes training horses in their backyard.
It's not that it doesn't make sense. I guess I just never thought about it. I don't know.
Yes.
But that was one of the plot lines where she has to switch trainers, and like, there's things in there that are make for compelling drama. But
I'm assuming the drama does not cover their retirement from the industry and what
after retirement in 1991. Oguri Cap was sent to Yushin Stallion Station to stand stud. He was not able to produce any racers of his caliber, and in 2007 he was retired from stud duty. On July 3rd, 2010, he fractured one of the tibias in his legs in an apparent pasture accident and was subsequently euthanized.
So no, I will guess no.
I mean, there is a little bit of that Gundam Build Fighters vibe in Umamusume of like when a horse retires. Well, they just hang around. Like one of the main characters in Cinderella Grey is Symboli Rudolph, who is like probably like the most winningest horse in Japanese horse racing history, and
known as the Emperor, right? And,
she ran in like the 1970s, but she's just hanging around as a high school president.
Yeah, so she's still like, so like naturally they made her the student council president, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason they mentioned her racing career is over, but she's still there for some reason. So
right, and sometimes they make like a
president for some reason.
Sometimes they make a slight allusion to like, oh, the peak of my racing days are behind me, or like, my career, I've focused.
Now I nurture the next generation of the Imperial Review. Like,
yes, exactly. But no, they never really acknowledge that. Hey, your career is over, but you're still. It's why a lot of people. It's led to the joke amongst the fan base that the Horse Academy, Tracing Academy, feels less like a high school and more like some kind of like vocational academy or something. Where it's just like, I don't know, man. You can come here as many years as you want as long as you pay tuition, I guess.
Like the school in Keijo.
Is that how it worked in Keijo?
I don't know how it worked in that.
I don't fucking know. I'm assuming.
I don't remember any of the details.
I don't know. I don't remember a lot of the hard-hitting Keijo lore. I'm sorry, it's been.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. So I think it's fucked up. But like, I'll just say it. I think Cinderella Grey Part 2 is probably my most anticipated anime of next season.
I don't have any problem saying that, given the list. I mean, there isn't really anything I'm super excited about next season. Like, I'm glad Spy Family's coming back. I'm gonna watch that. Some of these I'm gonna check out Sanda, but I don't know, is Sanda going to be good or is it going to be entertaining? Is there a difference? I don't know. But what do you guys think as far as what are you most interested in next season?
Last episode of the podcast, we covered the start of Kamen Rider Zets, and as of right now, I'm curious to see where that's going. Because as of recording now, I've only seen 2 episodes. Okay, I'd like to see more.
Okay, so that's on the Toku side. But yeah, and Artemis, what do you think is your most anticipated show next season? Yep.
Oh boy, that tone never bodes well.
Oh, you know what? You know what I didn't talk about? Touring After the Apocalypse.
Oh shit! Right, wasn't that?
Oh, you know what?
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah.
Did I accidentally delete that off the list?
I think you deleted that from the notes because I have a tab open in Anachart for it. Yes.
Okay, let's wrap up by talking about touring after the apocalypse.
Could you?
If I will say,
My bad.
Not counting any sequels or spin-offs or what have you, for brand new anime, then touring after the apocalypse would probably be
cool.
The one I'm most looking forward to checking out. I don't know that I'm gonna, I don't know that I'm like, I don't believe like, oh, this will be a 10 out of 10 show. I'm just curious to see what it's like. Does anyone remember that other show with the two girls that were touring in the apocalypse?
Girls Last Tour.
Girls Last Tour. That I enjoyed that a lot. This looks not as quiet.
More like upbeat, I think, at least based on the PV.
Yeah, Girls Last Tour was very like introspective at times, and actually pretty subtle in how they dealt with the end of the world thing. Like there was
it got pretty grim at times, I think.
It did get pretty grim, but they never stopped to spell out what happened or anything, which I liked. Like there was no
right.
There didn't have to be, and now we will have the flashback episode to tell you exactly how.
Right.
But this does look kind of the general ilk. So yeah, that'll be good to check out, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this one. I think I think a big like contrast with Girls Last Tour, right, is I think touring after the apocalypse is going for the like green apocalypse, right? Like the world is overgrown, like that they're going for
right. This is not the nuclear winter, yeah.
No. This is apocalypse hotel apocalypse.
Post apocalypse.
The hotel is like off screen in this show, but yeah, I think this one might be fun. I was looking up some aspects of it. It's based off a manga. I will say they're doing the classic thing of, man, I love the manga's art now that I'm looking it up. Like, it's really...
The mangaka did the manga for Super Cub.
Hey, Gel. Yeah, get Gel on the phone.
They were not the creator of Super Cub, but they did, like, a manga for it. Right?
Okay, gotcha.
I was also kind of thinking of Super Cub when I saw this, but... I enjoyed that show. Yep.
Yeah, I figured this would be a show for you, Gel. It's girls on a bike, It's
Yeah, no, I had it on the list. I don't know what happened. I must have accidentally deleted it when I was changing or something. But yeah, I will definitely also be checking this out. I feel like these types of shows don't have a very high ceiling, but
right.
It's it'll probably be fun to watch. A lot of pretty background art in the PV.
I'm here for that. That's fine. That's
nice painted green apocalypse. I think is a good term, G, that you had there. it's the world is healing. Is that what it is? Maybe nature is healing.
If the whole when COVID was kind of at its height and people were like, the nature is coming back. This is, I guess, the extreme version, taken to the fullest extent.
People
I can see the whales again. Like
I will say, just as a one-off thing, I will note about this PV, freaking like Yggdrasil just sprouted out of Tokyo apparently.
Yeah, all right.
There's a big world tree in one of these backgrounds, and I'm like, all right, I'm real curious.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that, but I'm seeing it now. Yeah, that's not
it's
natural.
22 seconds into the PV, so maybe there will be a little bit of like. Maybe it will be like a Girls Last Tour where that's all there is to it, where it's just like, oh, you can only extrapolate from it, but I don't know, there might be like more to what is going on here.
Yeah,
it looks more from the PV. It looks more kind of dialogue heavy.
Yeah,
than
definitely
Girls Last Tour.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get more of a kind of a backstory.
Yeah, hopefully not too much.
Yeah, hopefully not. I don't really watch these shows for the flashbacks and so forth. I'm here for the ride, like the girls,
I just started thinking about the Zombie Cats show this season that I dropped.
Oh,
and a lot of the first 3 episodes was them flashing back to what happened. I'm like, I don't care.
Right,
I'm willing to accept that there's a horde of zombie cats. So I don't need to know why. Let's just roll with it. But yeah, all right, yeah, that does look like it'll be pretty fun. So definitely have that one on the radar as well.
Yeah, but if not that, then Spy Family would be my inevitable looking forward to most.
The safe choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll do it then. That's obviously there's a lot of shows we didn't talk about. We only picked the ones that we feel like we have something to say. I'm sure we'll.
Yeah, man. I mean, One Punch Man season 3.
Yeah, I didn't want to even touch that one. But,
Shut up! No, we're not.
I didn't even want to touch that one, but yeah, there's a lot of other shows going on, and as always, there's always something that pops up that we missed. So, if you're listening and there's something that you've got your eyes on that we didn't talk about, please let us know. And we're gonna blink and it'll be time for first look posts. So keep an eye out for that as well. All right, so that'll do it, and we can wrap up with our housekeeping. You can check us out at theglorioblog.com. Follow us on Blue Sky at glorioblog. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Stitcher, and of course YouTube, where you can like, comment, subscribe. Please check out YouTube, because YouTube broke last month, and views are down for everybody because they changed something and nobody knows what it is. But go check that out on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, all those good things. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, and we'll catch everybody next time.